Should we just start the show?
Hold on. As soon as I can get this keyboard to go away. Why is this keyboard? I'm just going to close the app and restart it. I have my notes app. I have my notes app. And then for some reason, like, it thinks that I want to type, and so it fills half the screen with a keyboard, and I'm like, I don't want to. How do you get it to go away? Anyway, I feel like an old person when that kind of shit happens. Hi, welcome to Cranked and Ranked.
Hey-o. There it is. Yeah.
That's what a epic beginning to the episode where Old Head is having issues with his iPad. Well, I guess not really. It's just issues with himself, because I'm sure people out there are like, you just do this and it goes away. I don't know that because I don't use iPads very often.
I've got a serious autocorrect problem lately where things are going from perfectly fine sentences to complete gibberish. And it's like, I'll type something like, hey, do you need anything from the shop? And it will say, the egg is in the basket 7 doors down. And I'm like, I didn't type any of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I've gotten to the point where I have become one of those people where I do a lot of like speech to text.
Yeah.
Just because it's faster for me. Because my thumbs will just like constantly be hitting all the wrong letters. Or even worse, I think it's on the Safari app or something like that for iPhone. The period is right next to the space bar. Yeah, and so I keep hitting the period in between words instead of the space bar. And I'm like, who wants the period there? Who uses periods that much that it's got to be right there next to the space bar?
Yeah, it's fucky.
Anyway, I think those are getting older people problems too, but still, because we're literally less than 2 months away from me being 48 years old. So
damn.
I don't really feel my age most of the time.
No, neither do I. That saying, if you're only as old as you feel. It's,
yeah, and
yeah.
And often like especially like when I'm out in public and I'll like see people and I look at some of them and they just look old and tired, and I look at them and I go, I bet you I'm probably older than they are. Yeah. Because I've noticed that there are people that are like around 40 and they just look like they're done. They're done.
Checked out. Counting down the days.
And I'm not one of those people. I'm gonna be like my goal in life is to be like Dick Van Dyke, who is 100 years old and still everything is still totally with it. And mind you, I got to get way healthier if I want to be Dick Van Dyke. But he's he's like one of those people I look at and I go, wow, the guy, he's a good dude. He was successful. He's healthy. He's 100 years old, and he's still like everything about him is just like he kept it all together. And that's commendable and what do you call it? Respectable and all those words.
Yeah. Dick Van Dyke is a huge part of my childhood. I remember Diagnosis Murder is my mum's favorite show, so it's always on in the background. Like every time I visit here, like there are so many memories I have of like my mum ironing in the front room and I'm like facing the other way playing my PS2 on an old like early 90s box TV. Just to myself, but like I'm playing GTA over here, but Diagnosis Murder is going on over here. So
that's interesting because like mine is I never really saw that show. So I mean, Dick Van Dyke for me was Mary Poppins when I was a kid, and then once like
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang too.
Once Nick at Night became a thing, then they would show the Dick Van Dyke show. I think they showed it on Nick at Night. So that's kind of how I knew him. But the big thing was Mary Poppins because as a kid, I watched that movie so many times.
Oh yeah.
But I haven't seen it since I was a kid. Well, no, I haven't seen it since I was a kid. I did see the sequel, oddly enough, in the theater because my kid wanted to go see it.
Right.
Like I don't remember what it was called, but it was some other lady played Mary Poppins, and I don't remember. I don't even remember the premise of the movie. I probably checked out really quick. Because as much as I love so much British culture, when a movie is very like, hello, cup of tea, British, I'm just like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I am.
Then all of a sudden I'm very American.
Yeah. I'm 100% with you there. It's almost like I have. It's like it's kind of sweet for a bit, and then it's like, okay, come on, dude, right? Okay, yeah, I definitely get that vibe. Yeah,
it's very weird. Like it's like the thing that I've always said. It's odd that like I feel attracted to like the what do you call those people with the accents that I like so much? The chavs.
Yeah.
I hear the accent and I go on a like a woman and I go, it's kind of hot, really.
Yeah. Well, it depends, I guess, because you get some that are kind of they're a little bit how do I put it?
They're like rednecks.
Yeah, shitty.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it's a crapshoot, really. But
yeah, it really is because I've known some people like it who are totally sound, totally cool, and then some others are just the worst. But yeah, going off of that, we've got.
We're not talking about anything British on this episode. No. Last episode where we talked about Fudge Tunnel, that was all British.
That was all British. That was, yes.
Which I just had some people online like I don't like people that are, I don't know. I don't like people in general, but we had gotten my wife's mom, my stepmom, got me or mother-in-law, not stepmom, mother-in-law. She like went to like a resale shop and bought this big ass fucking haul of vinyl. Just because like I guess the place that she went, that people were like, hey, these are like really good ones. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll just buy all of them. And then she gave them to us. And it's a whole lot of stuff from like the late 70s that we've been going through. And one of them was a live concert of Tom Jones. And I don't know anything about Tom Jones except for like maybe 2 songs. And so the concert's going, and I start to hear him speak, and I go, wait, he's not American? And so, like, I went and looked it up, and I saw that he was from Wales. And I was like, wow. And so, like, I did a post on the internet that said, like, I was today years old when I learned that Tom Jones was British. And people are all like, actually, he's from Wales. I'm all like, is Wales not in Great Britain anymore? Like English people are English and British. There's Irish people are Irish and British.
Mm-hmm. You get enough history in one place, people are going to be fucking dorks about it.
Yeah, and I'm I meant British, and I said it in that term because I'm an American and literally everybody over there is just British. But I also meant it like he's from Great Britain.
Yeah, so, he's on the same island. Give him a break. He's
It's like me saying, like, I'm not from America, I'm from Texas. And then, like, you fucking dumbass, you were in America.
Anyway, and you've got England, Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and then Ireland.
Which I always thought was kind of weird that one part, or is it one part of Scotland? Or Scotland's... Like, I don't know what it was.
The Northern Ireland thing has caused a lot of shit over the years.
Well, that's my ancestry goes back to there a little bit, but but also goes to Cornwall apparently. According to, I have a bit of Cornish in me. I don't know why, but also nice. Not hot take, but a realization that I've made 50 years later than most people did. Tom Jones, that boy can sing, and I've literally just never listened to him, but I was just like, wow, that guy was good. And so there you go. I learned about Tom Jones very late in my life.
Didn't he do the song for Thunderball?
He
woman he wants, he'll get. Fucking great song. Mr. Bungle covered that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he also did... It's
not unusual to be.
And What's New, Pussycat? Whoa. Those are literally the 2 songs of his I knew prior to that. Dude, I was like, I could just listen to that guy sing. He has a great. I mean, he's still alive, but I'm assuming he doesn't sound that good anymore.
How old is Tom Jones? Actually?
He's got to be 80, maybe even older.
85.
85. Yeah. Anyway, we're also not talking about Tom Jones on this episode. That's for our Tom Jones ranking that comes in 2029.
Dude, how many albums does Tom Jones have? Because oh
But he's got to be one of the, he's one of
Yeah.
those singers that half of it's cover songs every time, if not more.
Yeah.
And he probably has a
Plus-
Christmas album or two.
Plus, there's UK albums and there's US albums. So
Jesus Christ.
yeah, fuck, holy goddamn.
Yeah, we'll just rank. We'll just like do his greatest hits, and we'll rank the songs. Anyway, so hi everyone.
Slashed and mashed. Sorry, I was just gonna say we do a slashed and mashed, but every song is a different version of It's Not Unusual.
I wonder how many covers there are. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. Maybe not that song, but we should pick a song that's been covered a whole bunch, like some Beatles song that's like really popular, and we just like rank all the different versions that we can find of the Beatles song.
I came to the realization that there's a few covers of Your Ache My Eye.
Oh yeah.
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 I mean, obviously, you got the Cheech and Chong one, you got Scatterbrain, and there's a Korn one.
Korn, yeah. There's got to be more, too.
Yeah. Dude, I need to look this up real quick.
Mama talking to me, try to tell me how to live.
What is it? Okay, so I may have to start a new metal band and call it Cornwall.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, dude, I'm so down. I'm so down, dude.
Yeah. Or really, like, just anytime you're in Cornwall and you pass by a wall, just write KORN on the wall, and then it's a Cornwall.
Hell yeah!
I'm sure I'm the first person that ever thought of that. So yes, this is
my pasty and fuck it like it. Yeah, dude.
Oh gosh. So this time it's a cranked and ranked, but it's an interesting cranked and ranked, and a little bit of a slashed and mashed. We'll kind of figure out the slashed and mashed aspect of it as we go along, okay? But this is one that, like, we've been sitting on this for a while. Eddie came up with the idea of doing these albums. I feel like it has to be like 2 years ago now. You first mentioned it, maybe more.
I think I mentioned it pretty early on.
Yeah.
May even be as early as before we had video going. But
it most likely is.
We just didn't know how to approach it. But once Slashed and Mashed came along, we thought, right, well, that's a golden opportunity to bring all of these together. But we also wanted to include a ranking as well, kind of like we did with Fight, where there's only 2 albums, but, you know, there's obviously 5 here that we're covering.
Yeah. So to explain what this is, Eddie was basically talking about these sort of one-off grunge albums that either were, you know, just a project that had one album, or just, you know, one of these bands from back then that just did an album and then broke up. And so we've got 5 of those: Mother Love Bone, Mad Season, Temple of the Dog, Green River, and Malfunction, which we're going to be talking about, ranking, picking some favorite songs, and maybe putting together a compilation. But it's an interesting grouping of albums because you really do have like legit full-length albums. Then you have, you know, well, I mean, I don't even know what I would call Temple of the Dog, because it was was it intended to be a full-length album, or did they were recording songs and then they had a bunch of songs and they threw them together?
I think the main thing with Temple of the Dog was like they went into it as kind of a tribute to Andy Wood, and ended up with 10 tracks. And I think an interesting thing to mention as well is that a lot of these albums have the same people on it.
Yeah, so, there's some crossover here. But then you have like the Malfunction album, which we'll get to that, but it's not even a proper album because it wasn't intended to be released. In the way that it was. Before we begin, though, just because we're talking about grunge stuff and the timing is kind of good on this, I want to give a quick. I don't know if he's watching this, but I want to give a quick shout out to Clive from The Year Grunge Broke, which is I've started following them on Instagram. There's a page called, I think you might follow them too, The Year Grunge Broke, and he contacted me because he's sending me a copy of a book that he just put out, which is The Year Grunge Broke: 50 Essential Grunge and Alternative Rock Albums of the 90s and Beyond. And I kept seeing like ads for this and going, oh man. But unfortunately, it's like it was from overseas and was kind of expensive. And I'm just like, I'm not going to hit this guy up and ask him to send me a copy of his book. But then he like hit me up and I'm just like, yes, please send me a copy of this book. Apparently it's got a foreword by Dave Abruzzese. Is that how you say his last name?
Nice. Yeah.
From who was in Pearl Jam for I mean for me he is the Pearl Jam drummer. I know Matt Cameron's great, but like and when I think of Pearl Jam, Dave is behind the kit. But
and Matt Cameron is also the drummer of Soundgarden, so it's not like it's a huge loss to him.
So I just wanted to give a shout out to Clive because that was really cool, and I'm looking forward to reading the book and talking about it on a video on my channel at some point, because it looks like that's the kind of nerdy thing that I can get behind, where it's like, oh, we're just going to have these in-depth things on these 50 different albums, and I'm also curious to see what gets included in these and what doesn't get included. But it's it's nerdy enough, and it's that era of music which I absolutely love. So I'm looking forward to seeing that, and I'm pretty sure that at least 4 of these, if not all 5, are probably in that book. And you can go order it now. I don't know if you're overseas, guys. You can probably get it for a little bit cheaper than I could. But go check out Year Grunge Broke on Instagram. I think they might be on Facebook as well. I don't really know.
They're on Facebook, yeah.
Anyway, so the albums that we're doing are Jesus fucking Christ. So we're doing Green River, which is Rehab Doll is the album by Green River, which is the only full length. And I do realize that they did release EPs, but we're doing this as one-off full length albums.
Yeah.
And so, Green River, Rehab Doll, Mother Love Bone, Apple, which is the one and only actual Mother Love Bone album, because it was literally released, I think, days after Andy Wood died.
Yeah.
And then we're doing Temple of the Dog, the self-titled Temple of the Dog album from 1991. Then we're doing Mad Season, Above, from 1995. And then Malfunction, Return to Olympus, which technically came out in 1995, but it was recorded in the mid-'80s. And so we're going to rank these, have some nice discussions about these. And then I guess along the way, we'll kind of put together a compilation, a slashed and mashed compilation of the best of these albums. So I don't even know where to. Do you have anything to say before we start?
I just wanted to mention as well, like an important thing I wanted to highlight is that most of the vocals on here are no longer with us, with the notable exception of Mark Arm from who's mainly known for Mudhoney, but
you're right,
is the singer on Green River,
and a little bit of Eddie Vedder on Temple of the Dog.
Yeah. But
you've got that's interesting. Yeah, I'm not interested. I mean, it's also sad, but man, that period of music, those bands, like we lost a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's all a lot of it is that Gen Xers whose parents didn't want to diagnose them with anything being wrong and actually helped them out, and so they turned to drugs. And other factors. That's not everybody's story, but a lot of people I know who are Gen Xers, we all have that same kind of story where we get older and we go, oh, you mean I've been dealing with this thing all the time that I should have been diagnosed for and medicated for or whatever?
Yeah.
But our parents didn't do that kind of shit, unfortunately.
I'm currently on a journey myself to try out ADHD meds, but it's hard to get a hold of that here unless you go private, and I think I may have to do that. Because it simply just comes down to, it's like people turn around and they'll say these kind of, they think they're being supportive, but they're actually kind of devaluing statements where they turn around and say, oh, don't worry, I do that sometimes. Everybody's a little ADHD. I think it's a spectrum where everybody's a certain level. I was like, all right, well, if it's a spectrum, I'm pretty far fucking this way. So help me out here,
Yeah. They're technically not wrong, but it's like, if you're going to say something like that, oh yeah, there's a spectrum. Cool. Then you realize that somebody else could be at another point on the spectrum that you're not.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I forgot my fucking car keys for the 7th time this week, and it's like, oh, I did that once. It's like, yeah, there's a key distinction here. You did that once. I do it all the time. It's something like that. And it's these little things that, if I can be a little vulnerable for a second, it chips away at you. Tiny little things like that that seem like inconveniences, and people will turn around and say, "You're overreacting." It's like, no, motherfucker, I lose hours of my week to this shit. And it sucks. It sucks that when people don't recognize it. Thankfully, we live in a world where it's being recognized a lot more.
That's an interesting thing about that term, overreacting, because I always feel like it's really important to for everybody out there to realize that an overreaction is a reaction. It's a natural reaction. And if you think it's an overreaction, that's probably something that needs to be taken into account. Like, oh, is there something causing this quote unquote overreaction? So who knows what it might be? It could be a number of things, but like, so many people for so many years didn't want to act like our brains are, sensitive, collections. I mean, I still don't get how half of it works. Like, how do I automatically breathe?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure somebody out there could be like, well, here's how it works. I still don't get it. There's so much going on. I sometimes don't. There's so many things happening with our brains that I'm just, I think that I want to hold up a finger here. But at what point did I decide I wanted to say I want to hold up a finger? And at what point did my hand do this? It's fucking crazy. So treat it as such. So thank you for the therapy session that will probably be continuing for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
So let's rank these.
Yeah, sounds good.
5 albums, and we'll dig into them as we go along. So I guess what should we grunge one-offs is what we were calling this.
Yeah.
So I guess
slashed and mashed grunge one-offs. So I guess cranked and ranked.
Yeah. Let's hear Eddie Sparxx's number 5 of these grunge one-off albums, and if we don't match up here, then I'm gonna be very confused.
Okay, so my number 5 is Return to Olympus by Malfunkshun.
Same here. That's my number 5
because it's a collection of demos. Basically, it's not a fully formed album that was intended for release. This is very much I don't even think the guitar tracks were intended to be used.
It is. This album, out of all these albums, this is the only one I'd never heard before this.
Yeah.
And it was rough. I was annoyed by this album. But not just the Kevin Wood, who's the guitar player. Not just him. Even Andy Wood. The only one that didn't annoy me was the drummer. He was just doing his fucking job. Everybody else, there was just like Kevin Wood recorded riffs in the songs, and he's playing the riff. And then literally on top of almost every song, for the entirety of the song, is him playing out of key shitty solos. That have and then you've got Andy Wood, who recorded one vocal and then recorded another one that is sometimes off key with the one that's there, and so it just becomes such a fucking mess. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Andy Wood, but this is an atrocity.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of guitar work on it that's like kind of out of place shred. There's some pretty killer riffs at times.
But I really feel like he was just recording these random shit, and maybe his idea was, okay, we can take pieces of this, or we can fade this up at some point, or because I mean maybe if he's watching, Kevin, is that what you intended for the whole fucking thing to be you noodling in a really horrible fashion for the entire album?
There are some shred passages that are reminiscent of some Mark St. John shred passages from Animalize sometimes, where it's like, this doesn't feel appropriate for this part of the song.
And then other parts make me think, like, is he trying to do like a Greg Ginn from Black Flag kind of thing? But
it feels somewhere between that.
Which would make sense if he was just doing it at certain parts of the song. But it's like if Greg Ginn just was like playing in a room and you recorded him for an hour and then wrote songs over it. But anyway, if you guys don't know about this album, Malfunkshun was a band that Andy Wood was in prior to Mother Love Bone, and they only recorded some demos, and I think officially they only had a couple tracks that were released on compilations. And they
Deep
broke
Six
up.
They were on.
They were on the Deep Six one, yeah. And then they broke up sometime in the later half of the 80s, and then Andy Wood started Mother Love Bone with members of Green River, blah, blah, blah. But I think I read that it was Mike McCready who in the 90s went back and took these tracks that were recorded in 86 and 87 and kind of put them together. Sorry, I'm bumping into shit. And then put them out as this album that never got released, which is, I'm glad that it's out there because as a fan of this music, I'm glad I finally heard it and I know about it. And I really feel like this is probably the kind of band that if I was in a club and saw them live in like 1986 or something, I probably would have been like, oh, this was fucking great. And so maybe when I heard the album, I would have been like, yep, this fits what they were doing. But I don't know that. So that's this album, and it's also my number 5. You have anything else to say about this one? Because I was only able to pick one song that didn't drive me insane, and that's Shotgun Wedding. That's the only one that I was like, this is fine. The rest of it, no. Okay,
yeah, I liked it a little bit more. I didn't completely hate it, but I definitely get the sense that, it's the least essential of all these releases here because it's not really a proper album, so to speak.
Yeah.
But again, like I say, it's cool that it's there. I'm glad it exists.
And I think even us including this here is a good idea just because it fits in the conversation of this whole grouping of albums.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. My song choices for that album anyway are kind of up in the air, but I feel like we should include at least one in our compilation somewhere. But
I'll if Shotgun Wedding is cool with you, we'll include that. If you have any others, that is totally up to you.
Shotgun Wedding is a suggestion I have. Yeah. It's pretty front loaded though. My picks for that one pretty much, the 4 songs leading up to the Ted Nugent cover are kind of up in the air, but everything past that, it is messy.
Yeah, it is messy.
Yeah. And as you and I both know, the Ted Nugent cover ain't making it on the album, so yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Man, for a little while there, people were like covering and they were into the Nuge, and it's like, and then everybody learned about what kind of person the Nuge was, and everyone just went, oh, never mind.
See, that's the thing. Oh, real quick, while we're on the subject of Ted Nugent, so Stranglehold is in the game GTA Vice City Stories.
Yeah, which is one of the best songs by that guy Ted Nugent because he doesn't sing on it.
Well, anyway, like I say, did I tell you? In the early hours of today, I stayed up until 2:30 in the morning doing this. Mm-hmm. I completed GTA Vice City Stories to 100%.
Oh wow, that's what you were. You sent me the picture of where you were able to like kill people and take over their buildings and shit.
Yeah. I in the early hours of today, before I went to sleep, I completed it, meaning that I have now completed all 5 PS2 era GTA games to 100%.
Wow.
GTA 3, GTA Vice City, GTA San Andreas, GTA Liberty City Stories, and finally GTA Vice City Stories. in the year 2026, which is the 20-year anniversary of Vice City Stories, and is also the 20-year anniversary of me getting my first GTA, which is a full circle moment. Can I get a hell yeah in the chat, please, guys?
Every once in a while, we like to get a little wasted. We like to take a taste of alcohol.
Yeah, we got to
that's kind of a hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a celebration right there. Yeah. Oh, hold on. Actually, real quick, can I get a yeah, we did it because of all the GTAs?
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, here we go. Yeah.
And before,
so I've done all the GTAs.
Before anybody else gets ahead of themselves, the only person that can request a yeah, we did it at an inappropriate time is Eddie Sparxx.
Yes.
So don't start coming to me being like, hey, can I get a yeah, we did it? No, because you didn't do it.
You didn't do it. You didn't do it. We did it. Only we can do it.
Yeah. That was the first and probably one of the few times you're going to hear a yeah, we did it at an inappropriate time, but it was also very appropriate.
Yes. Dude, I have a newfound sense of purpose. I've done it.
Yeah. So who out there works for a company that can make him like a plaque?
Yeah.
Eddie Sparxx completed all the PS2 GTA games and just put like the dates or something like that.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well,
cool.
And on that note, since we had we may. I don't know if we're going to totally match up here, but I feel like this next one we may match up as well. What is your number 4 of the grunge one-offs?
My number 4 of the grunge one-offs. It's funny. These two could swap on any given day, and the top 2 could swap on any given day. But my number 4 is Green River Rehab Doll.
Same here. Rehab Doll.
Okay.
1988.
Cool. So yeah, this is. As far as this is full on grunge right here. The punky end of grunge too, where you've got it's kind of like Mudhoney but a little heavier, I guess, a little bit more metallic, and it's quite front loaded for me as well. I've got 3 song suggestions for this, and they're pretty much the first 3 tracks off of it. But
I think my two are number 2 and 3. Rehab Doll and Swallow My Pride. Isn't that number 2 and number 3?
Cool. Yeah.
Those are the 2
works.
I chose.
Yeah, I love those ones.
Yeah.
But all in all, I mean, Green River, Rehab Doll. I always like Green River. They're a very specific early grunge sound. It's very, what's to come from this is very interesting to hear.
You can also easily hear the split between what Mudhoney would sound like and what Mother Love Bone would sound like.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's pretty clear that when you listen to Mark Arm and then you listen to Stone Gossard, it's 2 different worlds of people playing together right there.
Yeah, I'm singing like this, and then blues riffs.
Yeah. And the funny thing, and this also will probably not win me any cool points either. I've never really been a Mudhoney fan.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of Mudhoney over the years.
That surprises me in a weird way.
It's mostly just Mark Arm. There's something about it that I mean, I guess it's not just him, but like they're not an essential band of that era for me. If I want to listen to any like quote unquote like early era grunge stuff, it's never going to be Mudhoney. It's going to be pretty much any other band. But I don't know what it is, and that's another one of those things where I'm pretty sure if I had like gone to see Mudhoney in like I don't know 89 or 90. I probably would have been blown away and probably be a huge fan. But song-wise, like I've never heard anything where I went, ooh, that's it. Because it's a little bit, I'll save all that for whenever we do a Mudhoney ranking, because I know we will. Because there is stuff that I like, but I really just Mark Arm has just never been a vocalist that I'm like, yeah, that's what those songs need. never thought that. And so yeah, for those of you who don't know about this one, when they were recording Rehab Doll, that's pretty much when they ended the band. And by a lot of accounts, it's simply because Stone Gossard and I guess Jeff Ament as well wanted to go in a one direction, and then you had Mark Arm who's like, "No, I want to be a weird indie guy."
Yeah,
and they went, "Okay, well, have fun with that. We're gonna go conquer the fucking world." Anyway, but they didn't quite yet. We'll get on. I have more to say about those things too, but yeah, musically speaking, I enjoy a lot of this album, but really the only thing that ever brings it down for me is Mark Arm, because like a lot of times I'm just like, you don't just have to be annoying on every song. It's like there's a time and a place for those kind of vocals, and for me it's like, take it down a notch every once in a while. But I almost feel like I enjoy the EPs by Green River more than I enjoy this album, because there's tracks off of those EPs that I like more. But I mean, it is what it is. It's like once again, it's the same thing with Malfunkshun, where you listen to Green River, and it's like if you're a fan of this era of music, it's really cool to hear you hear little bits of like where things are gonna go, and at this point, it's just like reading a history book for me. Like, when my dad was like obsessed with like Texas history, and he would read all these books about all these separate events that happened in Texas history. And for me, mine is not reading the book. Mine is just going and listening to like Rehab Doll and be like, oh man, it's like an audio history. And then, about music that was to come that I would absolutely love, or that was happening at the same time, because Soundgarden was already kicking it at this point too. Green River is cool, but it really does, I think it's a specific type of fan of this era of music that prefers that stuff, whereas because I came into it in the early 90s with a lot of the more polished stuff. I would even call the first Nirvana album more polished than this.
I would agree.
But I'm just meaning that in a songwriting sense and a cohesion of style or whatever. But so I could see somebody really, being the person that's like, oh, I love Green River, and then Mudhoney's my favorite grunge band. I'm like, okay, well that's clearly the lane that you're interested in from this time period, where mine is not that one. So this one's never been a big one for me, although I do enjoy songs off of it, especially Rehab Doll and Swallow My Pride, which is the two I listed, because I'm like, both those songs are fucking great. So
cool. Yeah, sure.
We're rocking and rolling here.
We are.
All right, so this is when it's going to get weird, because we have 3 albums. I love all 3 of these albums. I'm assuming you do as well.
I do.
So, but I don't think we're going to completely match up. May. So let's find out. What is your number 3? I keep forgetting grunge one-off albums.
My number 3 grunge one-off album is Above by Mad Season.
Okay. Nope.
Okay, cool. So, in the interests of keeping, my top 2 very open, I was maybe a little harsher than I feel like I should have been with Mad Season. Uh-huh. But I do have 4 very strong songs that I would like to somehow work in. We haven't quite decided on just how many songs we're putting on this, and if it's going to be a double disc just yet. But we'll see.
Whatever we want it to be.
It can be whatever we want it to be. That's the best thing about this fucking thing. Yep. So, I mean, hearing Lane Staley sing over something a bit different is really cool. That already is like a huge selling point of this. And you've got, who else in the band? Mike McCready,
yep,
and Barrett Martin and John Baker Saunders. And
yep.
There's really cool vibey songs. There's really cool rockin' songs, and there's even a couple of guest appearances from Mark Lanigan, who was also a late grunge singer, and we got to include at least one of those tracks on here, because
if you want, those are not my favorites from the album. Maybe like what is it, long Gone Day or whatever.
Long Gone Day is the one.
I like that one. I like Mark Lanegan, but I'm not I'm not big on Mark Lanegan like a lot of people are. But I do have to admit, like, one day we'll talk about this band.
Yeah.
You know, there are those bands that you constantly have this weird push and pull where you will be like, fuck this band. And then you'll hear something and go, oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, fuck this band. And I'm like that with Queens of the Stone Age. Like,
dude, I was going to ask you about Queens of the Stone Age.
Yeah, because there are songs by them that I think are great, but I think at least 60% of it is just wank job music. It's douchebag music for the most part.
I have always felt, I feel conflicted on it myself. Thank you for saying it, because I've been thinking about Queens of the Stone Age for a while. Mm-hmm. And the thing that always like puzzled me, it was like, you know, early on in being like a hard rock guy, I was like, why is this not clicking with me? Because there's riffs, it's heavy, it's catchy. What isn't there? And I realized at the time, I was listening to a lot of stuff with very wet mixes.
Yeah.
Queens of the Stone Age is known for being dry.
Oh, like, very.
Like to the point where the drums and the cymbals were recorded separately to minimize bleed at all. And like, I always found, I don't know what it is. I just always found it. And this is not me insulting the band by any means, but it felt like very, very kind of like unseasoned. It's just meat and potatoes. To me, it just felt very.
There's some of that, yeah. My best suggestion to you is look up on the internet Queens of the Stone Age songs sung by Mark Lanegan, which is a handful.
Yeah,
those are all great. Like every song Mark Lanegan sings with Queens of the Stone Age, it's got to be at least a dozen, maybe less. But I think he was in the band for the first 3 albums, and then I think he actually still sang on another one. Or for us, anyway, those songs are all good. So I really think my problem is Josh Homme, because most of the time his vocal choices, his demeanor, his appearance, his vocal choices all sound like dude who used to be on the football team. His parents bought him a guitar, and now he's trying to get chicks. That's literally what his whole vibe gives me. He just seems like a dude that's going to fondle your sister when she's asleep. Like it's weird.
You're getting the douche chills, is what
douche chills from that guy. And sometimes it comes out in his vocals. They sound very douchey. But musically speaking, because if you go back to Caius fucking great. Mm-hmm. And so I really think that if like Mark Lanegan was the singer of Queens of the Stone Age full stop, I would be a massive Queens of the Stone Age fan. Because musically speaking, I don't really have much to say that I don't like about it. Like there's a lot of cool guitar riffs, and he always works with cool drummers, and that bass player guy that was in Queens for like 2 or 3 albums, that guy was cool too. He's in he got kicked out. He was a wild card, I think. Anyway, so I bring them up just because Mark Lanegan, and I was going to say, like, I have a weird relationship with that band, but any song by Queens of the Stone Age that Mark Lanegan sings, I'm just like, yep, this is it. This is what it's supposed to sound like. Anyway, and rest in peace, Mark Lanegan. So we were talking about Mad Season, though, which was your number 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I mean,
we talked about this one recently.
Yes, we did. I mean, the opening track, "Wake Up," I fucking love "Wake Up," dude.
It's great.
That one has a vibe, such a good vibe to it. "River of Deceit," so good. Obviously, "I Don't Know Anything" is a great song, and all the other tracks too. I love this album, and it's one of those, for me, like, this type of mid-90s album is always a grower for me. Mm-hmm. But when they do, I mean, I had the same thing with King for a Day, Fall for a Lifetime by Faith No More, Downward Spiral by Nine Inch Nails. These types of albums from the mid-90s in this kind of hard alternative vein, just always, they're those albums that take a while, but when they do set in, the self-titled Alice in Chains album was the same, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, that was back around the time that major labels were allowing bands to put out albums with dynamics, and that took a little bit of chances with some songwriting and stylistic choices, and sometimes it didn't immediately click with you, but man, when it did, it's pretty fucking great. I'm not talking about Matt Season right here, so I'm not gonna say shit. Go ahead.
Okay, no, it's okay. I'm gonna wrap things up here. It's really cool hearing Lane Staley in a band that isn't what Alice in Chains does, and he's still kicking ass. So yeah.
Rest in peace, Lane Staley.
Yeah. Rest in fucking peace, dude.
That's probably my number 2, like, biggest loss from that era. Obviously, Kurt Cobain's my number 1, but Lane Staley's another one that, like, I just feel like there was so much more music that guy could have done that would have been so interesting as he got older. And I'm just like, and I don't even know if I can say that about Kurt, because I feel like with Kurt, knowing what we know about him, he may have quit music altogether. So I don't really know how that would have gone if he had lived. But with Lane, I just feel like there would have been some really fucking amazing music in his, older years that we didn't get. So
mine's my pick for that is gonna play into one of these albums coming up soon.
Okay.
So yeah.
So well, I mean, it's probably this one. My number 3 is Temple of the Dog.
Yeah.
The self-titled Temple of the Dog from 1991. Honestly, the top 3 here are all really good albums. The only thing that keeps Temple of the Dog lower is that it is not it as an album, it's not a go-to album for me, because some of it is not. It's too mellow, and some of it's not memorable enough for the mellowness, in my opinion, even though the performances are all really good. Also, what is it? What is the song called on there where Pearl Jam did the version called Footsteps, and then there's one on here. Is it Times of something? No, I don't know. I
don't know. Hold on.
Go to the track list.
Is it Wooden Jesus or something?
No, it's not Wooden Jesus. Is it Times of Trouble? Is that the name of a song?
Temple of the Dog.
I'm bad with song titles names. Titles names.
Let's have a look here. I'm gonna read through. Say Hello to Heaven, Reach Down, Hunger Strike, Pushing Forward Back, Call Me a Dog, Times of Trouble, Wooden Jesus, Times of Trouble.
So Times of Trouble, I think I heard, before I heard this album, on an early Pearl Jam B-side, there's a song called Footsteps, which is the same music.
Oh, wow.
With Eddie Vedder doing completely different vocals. And I loved that song so much that even now when I hear Times of Trouble, I go, this is not what it's supposed to sound like. Like, no offense, Chris Cornell, but this is not what it's supposed to sound like. But I've realized this one probably came first. I don't know. I'm just assuming that probably, Stone or Mike or whoever wrote the little guitar part, just took it with them to Pearl Jam or something. Anyway.
I've never actually heard Footsteps by Pearl Jam. I'm gonna do like a quick.
Oh, dude,
hold on.
Oh God.
Holy shit, it is exactly the same. Okay, all right, I'm going to save that. I'm going to keep that up for after this.
It's so, it's Eddie Vedder at doing his best, his most like emotive type of vocals, where you kind of just hear it in him that like, oh man, he is letting some shit out, which is what we all loved about Eddie Vedder in the first couple albums. There'd be those moments where you go, God damn, like you can just see it radiating from him as he sings. Anyway. And I'm not even that big of a Pearl Jam fan, but like there's some Pearl Jam that just gives me the fucking chills, and that Footsteps is one of those. Anyway, so Temple of the Dog, absolute fucking classic. Hunger Strike is one of the quintessential songs of the 90s, I would say, because it represents so many things for me, because this was, I got into Nirvana and started to get into all of this quote unquote grunge stuff that was happening. And then all of a sudden I see this music video for Hunger Strike, which has two singers from two bands I'm getting into, Pearl Jam and Soundgarden.
Yeah.
And then the song is about or from an album written for a person that they had lost, which at that point I didn't even know who it was. I didn't know shit about Andy Wood at that point. So there's a weight to that song, even especially now that Chris is no longer with us too. It's just one of those songs that, like, I don't care how many times it's been played, it still has the same weight and effectiveness. And there's something about, like I had friends in my past that, like, I was in like bands with and stuff, that would get kind of annoyed when bands wrote songs where they just repeated the same verse multiple times. And I'm a true believer that sometimes that's what a song needs. There are certain songs that repeating the same verse again and just like having to be verse chorus, but then the same verse chorus, sometimes that makes it more effective. And that's just the kind of songwriting that particular song needs. And that's just my opinion. But I think with Hunger Strike, that's exactly what it needed. And then not to mention you have like Say Hello to Heaven, which is just a fucking great performances from. I mean, the whole album is great performances from everybody. But funny enough, like from two of my favorites from when I first heard this album, which probably was in '92, was probably when I first heard this album. They're both songs with Eddie Vedder on them. Hunger Strike and Pushing Forward Back are like two of my favorites. There are some cool ones later that are like mellow, but that's not what I was looking for at that time in my life. So the mellow songs on there, they were a little too bluesy for me. And so like this was an album that took a long time for me to get into the whole album. But I got to be in the mood for half of it. So that's why I ended up putting it at number 3, because even though it's great and it's an absolute classic and everybody on it gives, 100%, and it's a fucking classic of the era. But it is true. Like out of my top 3, it's definitely the one where I have to be in the mood for the whole album. But I can, a song here or there, just, it'll just immediately snap. I'm like, God, it's so fucking good.
It's a great morning album, I've found. It's a great album to listen to in the morning. It's one of those I can remember, like, I put it on like starting out on a really like long road trip one time. It was the first album I queued up. And about halfway through the album, my fiance next to me said, "How did you choose the perfect fucking album for this moment?" Mm-hmm. I was like, "I know, I just know." But like, I tell you one song that I fucking adore off of this album, and it's buried deep near the end, is Your Savior. Fucking love that one, especially when it opens up and gets all vibey and stuff.
Yeah,
dude.
This is one of those cases with an album that, like, for somebody else out there, or even you, if this is the number 1, I just go, well, yeah. I can't really argue with that. My number 3, Jess, you can't come in here. I locked the door. That's why it's just personal reasons why I put it, at 3, just for my own, what I enjoy. I never, I've always, like, it's so weird that I've known this album for so long, and I'm just, I'm looking at the people who play on it. I'm like, oh wait, this really is just Pearl Jam with Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought there was somebody different on it too, and maybe there is randomly on songs, but the bulk of the music is.
Well, I mean, at the time, Matt Cameron wasn't in Pearl Jam. Yeah. He was in Soundgarden, so it's Pearl Jam with Chris Cornell and Matt Cameron,
Soundgarden, and Pearl Jam together.
Yeah,
Which I, now
sorry.
that I mentioned, was this recorded before the Pearl Jam first album?
I think it was kind of around the same time, wasn't it? So it recorded. So Temple of the Dog was recorded November to December 1990. 10 Pearl Jam. I just wanted to highlight while I'm looking this up what you said about the same verse thing. Mm-hmm. I think especially when you have a different singer singing it differently as well.
Oh yeah, that too
adds to it. It adds another layer to what makes that song so great.
Yeah,
is that Eddie Vedder's not going to sing like Chris Cornell and vice versa. You've got Chris absolutely belting gritty chest voice, and you've got Eddie Vedder doing his like Yarly down here, doing his own thing, and it's really cool.
I'm rolling down here.
I'm singing, and I'm going hungry. Yeah. So it's where are we at? Oh, okay. So so Temple of the Dog was recorded and released before 10.
Okay.
10.
But there was recorded. No real. I mean, there was the publicity for Temple of the Dog wasn't big enough to where I knew what it was before Pearl Jam. Yeah. It was post Pearl Jam 10 coming out that I heard about Temple of the Dog. So it may have been, people may have been listening to it, but not a 14-year-old me or 13 or however old I was. So anyway, my number 3, Temple of the Dog. It's great. Nice. It's literally one of those albums that's just like, if you haven't heard it, you need to hear it. But be prepared for a lot of mellowness because there's a lot of that on it.
Hell yeah.
All right. What's your number 2 of these grunge one-offs?
My number 2, like I say, my number 1 and 2 change on any given day, but my number 2 is Apple by Mother Love Bone.
Okay.
And it's fucking awesome. It's a classic, and one can only imagine where Mother Love Bone could have gone if Andy Wood hadn't passed away.
I'm glad you said that. Can I pause you there?
Yes, because I feel like I know kind of where you're going to head with it.
I probably have said this before, but I see it all the time on the internet. People post things and say, like, if Andy Wood hadn't died, Mother Love Bone would have been as big as Pearl Jam. And I would like to call bullshit. There's, like, obviously we didn't match up, so obviously this is my number 1, but we'll get there. But so I love this album.
Yeah.
Coming from a person that loves this album, this band would have been dropped from their label within a year or two.
Yes, they would have. But on account of it, it's still very much, it's got one full foot in the glam metal vibe.
It has more in common with Faster Pussycat than it does with Nirvana.
It does.
And here's the thing. When the album came out, so not only was the album being released by a major label with like a music video to accompany it, right beforehand, Andy Wood died. So there was that press. And even with that amount of press, the album still did not do incredibly well when it came out. So I'm not saying that they wouldn't have grown as a band, but I feel like Andy Wood had such a particular vocal style. I don't think he was going to change that much with what he did. And so, they would have been lumped in with all of the other late 80s, early 90s, quote unquote, hair bands. They would have been considered a hair band. They would have Enough Zenuff. Do you consider Enough Zenuff a hair band? They didn't make hair band music.
I would say, going off of what you were saying there, I feel like that Mother Love Bone, the thing that set them apart from those glam bands that you're mentioning that they would be lumped into, I feel that they would have gone the way of kind of a Saigon Kick, where
Sure, I don't think you're wrong. No, not at all. Yeah,
I think they would have done a similar thing to what Saigon Kick did, and that is that melding of the 80s rock big ass drums production with the hard riffs of grunge melded with kind of a psychedelic rock element to it too.
And then I would like to remind you what happened to Saigon Kick.
Exactly, yeah.
Like and we love Saigon Kick on this show, obviously, but so
we love them because of this era, yeah.
Yeah, so Mother Love Bone would not have maybe Mother Love Bone would have kept going and had a dedicated fan base, but they would not have been that.
They wouldn't
popular.
have been as big as Pearl Jam.
But I've said this in the past too. I think if Andy Wood had lived, the grunge boom would not have happened in the same way and would not have been as significant. Because Nirvana alone did not create that huge boom. They were definitely probably the catalyst, especially for somebody like me. From somebody who was there and was kind of witnessing it as a young person, they were the band that fucking set everything off. But I've always thought that the reason why grunge became this fucking phenomenon was because you had Nirvana and because you had Pearl Jam. So you had the punky side of things and you had the arena rock side of grunge happening at the same time, bringing these people together from these different worlds. Like, hey, do you like classic rock? You might be into the Pearl Jam. Do you like punk and alternative? You might like the Nirvana, or you might like both. And so...
And then you got the metal dudes going Soundgarden and Alice in Chains.
Or whatever. But because of Nirvana and Pearl Jam, Soundgarden started, like all these other bands from they're both from Seattle. What's going on in Seattle? We got Soundgarden. And so it became this fucking massive fucking thing. And I think it's because you had these two bands with these different takes on what we would consider grunge music. And so if Andy Wood had lived... Number one, you can probably, Stone and Jeff and all those guys, they can, their bank accounts can thank the death of Andy Wood, unfortunately, because they were able to start Pearl Jam with Eddie Vedder, who is a way better vocalist than Andy Wood, but maybe doesn't have the same memorable character qualities. Maybe he does. I don't want to sell Eddie Vedder short because he has his own thing, but. There were different kinds of vocalists, and Eddie had a voice that was easier to reach across and get that mainstream audience, and everything. It was timing. Like it's got to be so weird to think somebody's death was important to something cool happening. Like that is bizarre for me to think about. And would I prefer a world where Andy Wood lived? Yeah, sure, but. I don't know musically what I would be. And I do think there was going to be a changing of the guard in the early 90s anyway. I just don't know. I don't know what it would have looked like. And I don't think grunge would have been the big thing. It may have been funk metal. Who the fuck knows?
I
don't know.
I think you could make a case for that. I think there were enough bands in the late 80s and early 90s introducing a psychedelic element to the hard rock sound.
There was.
And I think that that paired with funk metal may well have been the thing. I think that would be a really interesting sidebar episode. Grunge never happened, or something like that.
Yeah, just think about the other bands that were kind of at the top of the pile around that time. Obviously, look, even like Metallica. Metallica may have been important to that whole boom as well, because they altered their sound. And sure, they weren't doing grunge in 1991, but they definitely weren't doing thrash. And it was this sort of interesting sort of culmination of sounds that all could be related. Like people who because it's me. I was listening to all of these fucking bands all at the same time, and I wasn't the only one.
I would even argue that Pantera, would have had an influence on
Sure.
the overarching, like even the grunge thing, solely based on the fact that if you look at that entire time period, what is one thing that all of these bands were doing? And that's focusing on groove. There is groove in most early 90s well, the stuff that survived the early 90s had that element.
So honestly, like, you know, I'm glad things happened the way that they did, which is weird to say, because that era of music is so important to me. But once again, maybe it was just because I was 13, 14 at the time. I don't know. But
I don't know, dude. I missed the entire thing, and I think it rocks. So.
Okay, so yeah, I guess that makes sense too. But Mother Love Bone maybe would have made one more album for their record label, and then that probably would have been it.
They would have done apple, pear, and maybe banana.
Banana. Anyway, so I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I just like I always want to. I'm not that kind of person. I don't do. This is my platform. So like you know like you go around on TikTok and people will respond to other people's videos. Yeah. I can't bring myself to do that because at the end of the day, I don't think my opinion is very important at all. But luckily enough, we've created this podcast where I'm like, oh, you know, I feel at home here. And I feel like you and the people that actually get us are kind of cool with our takes on stuff. So that's when I keep it bottled up, and I'm like, I'm just going to wait for Eddie to say where the band could have gone if Andy had lived. All right, there it is. Boom. I'm jumping on that, and I'm going to take 10 minutes out of this whole fucking show, maybe 20. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. So your number two is Apple by Mother Love Bone.
Yeah, it's this fusion of the bluesier end of the glam metal thing happening at the time in the 80s with a healthy dose of that Seattle sound in there as well. Like, don't get me wrong, it's one of those weird albums that has a foot in either world, where if someone turned around and said that's not a grunge album, that's a hair band, and I'm like, okay, right, but at least acknowledge that it doesn't sound like Rat. You know,
no, like like a lot of those bands that would, like a song like, just off the top of my head, Bone China. Those bands wouldn't have done a song like Bone China. So so there is elements of it that was, I guess, more forward thinking than a lot of those other 80s hard rock bands. Yeah,
I think that there's a lot of very cerebral Zeppelin-esque moments on this album.
Sure,
and I think a key factor here is that it's not all party music. There is a sizable amount of somber and vibey, I'm going to say it, psychedelic sections. You know, there are songs on this that the Beatles would have been proud to write. And I know that's probably a fucking controversial statement, this being a one album wonder, but I mean, there's so many great songs that when I look at this track list, I think, why isn't this like an album of all time lister, you know? This is Shangri-La, Stardog Champion, Holy Roller, Bone China, Come Bite the Apple, Stargazer, Man of Golden Words, Gentle Groove, Crown of Thorns. Crown of Thorns, dude, that has one of my favorite snare drum hits of the entire that entire period. Yeah. You know, that brr, 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 brr. Ding, ding, ding.
I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, that is on a par with the fucking one in the middle of Judgment Day by Whitesnake.
I don't know if I've asked you this question before, but do you? I prefer Crown of Thorns with the Chloe Dancer part at the beginning, because that's how I first heard the song. So when I hear the album version, does it bother you at all, or are you cool with it either way?
I like both versions, but to me, the size of the album version, I think it would have been nice to have Chloe Dancer on this version too.
Yeah, like I just love that beginning part is so kind of haunting feeling for me, and then once it shifts into that song, it just feels so epic to me. And so when it leaves it off, I go, look, I still love this song, but yeah,
I like both. Yeah, I like both versions for different reasons. I prefer the album version for the production and the way it sounds and the size of it.
Well, isn't it the same? It's the same version on both albums. They're just a different beginning.
It's the production though.
Is it? I've never. Now I need to go listen to them back to back because in my memory they're the same recording and same mix with the beginning chopped off. But I might be wrong. Wow!
Yeah,
now I need to go. Now I need to go check that out. Unfortunately, I didn't get the EP on vinyl. I only got the new pressing of the full length.
So I've got that. What's it called? The Mother Love Bone compilation CD,
which is the first thing I heard by Mother Love.
Yeah.
Well, after the Crown of Thorns on singles.
So yeah, you've got. So the version you're talking about is the one from the Shine EP.
Yeah, which if you listen to it, it sounds like the same exact song, only just with the beginning is cut.
Maybe it's the same recording, but it's mixed differently. I don't know.
That would make sense.
Maybe. Yeah, I know there's a significant amount more of reverb on the album version, and that's why I like it. I just love wet mixes, man. I'm sick in the head.
Eddie Sparxx loves a moist mix.
That's the title for our next album.
Moist mix. Yeah.
That'll be album number 3 after number 2.
Yeah, it's not even related, but it's related, but not on this album. I think the first song on the Shine EP is Through Fade Away, I think is what it's called, and the chorus of that song always made me laugh because there's like kind of a bait and switch with that. She's my sunshine, she's my moonshine, she's my Mahatma Gandhi.
Yeah,
and I was like, you think he's saying my hot? But he's not.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, that's fucking great. It always made me giggle. I'm just like, that's so much fun.
Yeah, it's clever.
But anyway.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you were talking about your number 2. Which is number 2.
Yeah, so I adore this album. This is one of my favorite albums of this era. Mm-hmm. And it has a really interesting place in music history where, it occupies a zone between hair metal, grunge, and classic rock, all things that at the time appeared to be at odds with one another, and yet here is something completely coexisting with all those elements in that world.
Yeah. The interesting thing is that my one of my memories about this, which I guess is it's more of a more recent memory, but I have an episode of Headbangers Ball in my collection from 1990, and
cool.
I believe it's when they premiered the video for Stardog Champion.
Oh wow!
And it's literally Ricky Rackman, long hair Ricky Rackman, talking about Mother Love Bone and about the passing of Andy Wood and playing Stardog Champion next to Cinderella.
Yeah.
The whole episode is Cinderella on a boat for the release of what's that called? What's the album called?
Heartbreak Station.
Heartbreak Station. And so just thinking about 1990, and it's like Headbangers Ball, Cinderella about to put out an album, their new album, and then talking about Andy Wood and Mother Love Bone and playing the video for Stardog Champion. It's just such a weird middle ground of of that period, or it's just like. But then again, Cinderella at that point they were getting bluesy. They were basically leaning to the side of the blues stuff. That harmonica out of my face. Anyway. Were you done with Mother Love Bone?
Yeah, boy.
All right. Well, my number 2 is Above by Mad Season from 1995, and this has always been a really rough album for me to listen to, but I've always really enjoyed it because, the whole the whole story behind the album was that it was former addicts, well, quote unquote, former addicts getting together to have something to do together to like support each other. Each of them had different kinds of substance abuse issues. And so it brought together these four guys. And at the time, the big deal was obviously Lane Staley, who was from Alice in Chains, and then Mike McCready from Pearl Jam. And the thing that I've always really liked about this album is it really feels like a collaboration, because you hear songs that you know for sure this is a Mike McCready kind of thing. And then you'll hear another one and you go, I feel like Lane Staley wrote this riff. And there's something about the combination of the sort of bluesy aspect in the Pearl Jam world and then the darker, sort of more depressing vibes that like Lane Staley would have brought, and how they kind of they fit together so perfectly well and give you this cool, nice little, a really sort of dynamic, but overall a pretty bummer of an album. But but there's something about it that just feels like it feels depressing and cathartic kind of at the same time. And I've always really liked it, because you could make the case, just like I said about Temple of the Dog, that there's a lot of mellower stuff on Mad Season, but that's not, it's the mellower stuff has like a memorable quality that makes it just part of this collection where I just go, well, this is a full album and you don't skip any of these tracks. That's just always how it's felt to me. And I just love hearing Lane Staley sing. And so, but yeah, like we'll probably agree on a lot of them. The songs I picked from this one: River of Deceit, Lifeless Dead, and I Don't Know Anything. I'm cool with Wake Up as well, but Wake Up for me, it's just because it's longer. I didn't include it, but I'm like, yeah, why not? But yeah, obviously, like I kind of, as a fan, I was brought to this album because of Lane Staley. So the more Lane Staley version or aspects of the music is what really keeps me on board with this. But yeah, it's a really good album, but it's my number two, just because my number one I think is a classic album of the era. So yeah. Anyway, we can go on to your number two. It's kind of poetic that our number ones, mine is a Mother Love Bone album, and yours is a tribute to Andy Wood. Yeah. So let's move on to your number one.
I do like that it worked out this way, because we're shining a light on two releases here. Yeah. So Temple of the Dog, I mean, it's most of Pearl Jam at the time, with the singer and drummer of Soundgarden at the time, and it's great. It's got a really cool, mellow for the most part, but heavy when it needs to be, approach to it, and so much of the vocal performance on this is, honestly, I would say that vocal performance wise, I would say this is probably my favorite Chris Cornell performance.
Okay.
Like I love Chris Cornell in Soundgarden, but there are so many things across all of this release that are just like, that give me the chills. And this was the album that made me decide, right, yeah, Chris Cornell is my favorite vocalist of all time.
Yeah.
Because there's just so much grit and range happening at the same time. And, you should have seen my face the moment I heard All Night Thing at the end of this album for the first time. I was like, oh, that's from Wayne's World. That's from Wayne's World, in the apartment scene during the Cream of Some Young Guy segment.
Ribbed for her pleasure.
Ew. But yeah, I can remember, and this is quite a somber moment for me. I probably heard this album for the first time somewhere in 2013 or something. I got the CD from my uncle. I asked, hey, look, I've gotten really into the early 90s, and I know you've got a lot of CDs. Can I borrow them? Ended up, I've now had them for 13 years still.
So the pro tip, don't let Eddie Sparxx borrow anything, because you're not going to get it back.
I see him on the reg. I'm basically a storage unit at this point.
Oh,
but
right.
but yeah, don't worry. You can have them back. You just got to come all the way here.
Yeah.
And I'm not telling you where I am. But yeah. I mean, I can remember the day I found out Chris Cornell had died. I was sat in the corridor of the Helford building basement downstairs at Truro College, and my friend Will, he came down the hallway and just went, dude, Chris Cornell died. And I said, you're having me on, fuck off. No, he hasn't. Right. And come to find, he actually did die. Mm-hmm. And I remember that being a shit day in terms of being like, oh, just the rest of the day was ruined. And I remember it being a really sunny day, and I remember getting on the bus, and I remember trying to pay attention in the classes and stuff. I just couldn't fucking do it. I just couldn't take my mind off the fact that my favorite singer had died. And I can remember getting on the bus, putting my earphones in, putting the Temple of the Dog album on, and just sitting there, and literally within the first few notes of Say Hello Damn, and it was like something out of a fucking movie, like a lone tear went down. I remember it. I remember it like it was yesterday. Listening to the entire album all the way through on the way home, because I couldn't drive yet, so I took the bus.
Yeah.
And I can just remember being sat at the top deck of a double decker at the back, and it was relatively quiet. I was like the only dude up there, save for like an old couple at the front. And I just remember thinking, fuck, dude, why? Of everyone.
Yeah.
Why?
So this album really takes on a whole new element at that point.
It does. It really does. It stands out to me as, I'm so glad this exists, because a lot of Soundgarden's music, is very heavy and or vibey, so you don't always get the soul performances that you do on this. The kind of classic rock nature of a lot of these songs really allows him to dig into that kind of bluesy quality, and that already is gonna have a lot of emotional weight to it. And knowing that it was kind of a full circle moment where this album is a tribute to a singer who died.
Yeah. And
now this album is almost like, well, full circle. Tragically, but full circle. And I remember sitting at the back of that bus thinking, wow, this is just, it's one of those moments where I've not very often when a celebrity dies, like a big name dies, I'm like, oh man,
yeah,
that sucks. But this was like a genuine moment of, oh my fucking god, I was not prepared for this.
Yeah.
This is an idol of mine, and it's like it's one of those things that this is a really somber moment in the episode, but
it had to be. It had to be.
It has its place, and I think it's worth mentioning that if you are going through shit, I'm not going to bombard the listeners with cliches like, talk about it, reach out to your mates and stuff like that. But seriously, if you're going through shit, don't bottle it up, man.
Also, as we've heard from some people that are viewers and listeners of our show, if you just need a distraction, there's 250 episodes of this show. Just go, we'll be your buddies, and just go back to the beginning. And just there's ways to take your mind off of things, which is really when I had the worst times of my life. That's the number one thing I really needed, was some way to distract my mind. And sometimes it's finding a TV show or movie or podcast or whatever it is. There's something that connects with you that you just go, okay, this is what whenever I need to shut my brain off, I'm going to go to this.
I find as well, like as much as I love music, I find that sometimes when I listen to music, very often I'll have this, like if I'm listening to Apple by Mother Love Bone and fucking Gentle Groove comes on or something, I have that stereotypical thing of you close your eyes and there's this whole fucking world going on around you, or something like that. But very often I find, like, if I'm not in the right frame of mind and I listen to music and it's like my mind is wandering to a place that's not good, there's nothing better than listening to a podcast to shut that up, because it's like, these guys are talking about something I'm interested in and it's not this shit. So Yep.
And so, and then there are other people that probably need us to be more, what's the word, like jovial and and silly. And it's like, well, that's most of our episodes.
I was gonna say this is a rare emotional moment, but we're gonna come back to the fun part soon. We're gonna do a slashed and mashed. So we'll pick the oh sorry. Oh shit.
Are you done talking about
some vaudeville dude's gonna come to my house with a subpoena. Temple of the Dog is my favorite because Chris Cornell, basically. The funny thing is, because you talk about like the dynamics of Chris Cornell's vocals, and I like my early Chris Cornell, I got into Soundgarden like probably a tiny bit after these other bands that we talk about, but the one thing that I do remember is that the singles soundtrack is the best way to introduce somebody to Chris Cornell, because you literally have Birth Ritual and Seasons, two very different vocal performances from one of the best singers ever. And so it's like, it really gives you the idea of like, what can this guy do? And then the question is, what can't this guy do? If you're ever wondering, like, I want to get somebody into Chris Cornell, like, just pick those two songs and play them back to back and be like, this is the same dude. Dude does all this. Dude,
anyway.
let's just take a quick moment to appreciate how much the singles soundtrack kicks ass.
Oh fuck yeah!
Because
it has the full version of Chloe Dancer, Crown of Thorns.
Okay, so I'm gonna read this back. Wood by Alice in Chains is the
mic
opener.
Drop right there. Like, don't you can just, that could be the whole soundtrack. Who the fuck cares?
Oh man, you got Breath by Pearl Jam,
one of the best Pearl Jam songs in my opinion.
You got Seasons, Chris Cornell,
beautiful.
Dyslexic Heart, Paul Westerberg, Battle of Evermore. That's
a fun one. I could do without Battle of Evermore, but whatever.
But it is Ann Wilson.
It is Ann Wilson. Yeah.
They are from Seattle. Chloe Dancer, Crown of Thorns, Mother Love Bone. Dude, Birth Ritual, Soundgarden, State of Love and Trust, Pearl Jam.
Yep, another
dude.
Banger.
Overblown, Mudhoney, Waiting for Somebody, Paul Westerberg.
Yep.
May This Be Love, Jimi Hendrix. Much earlier, but again, Seattle.
Yeah.
Nearly Lost You, Screaming Trees.
Classic, absolute classic.
Banger. Dude, I love the guitar at the beginning, and I always mimic it when it comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I always do that when it comes on.
Yeah.
And Drown, Smashing Pumpkins.
Great one too. Not from Seattle.
No, but fit the sound.
It fit, they very much fit it.
Oh, man.
And, it's an amazing soundtrack, and it's, I'm going to say a great movie too, but you have to know what the movie is, because it's not like a rock and roll movie.
No,
it's got rock and roll elements in it. But first time I saw it in the theater, and I remember like being a bit disappointed because I wanted it to be more of like a young person rambunctious kind of movie, but it was really like kind of a meaningful movie about relationships.
Yeah.
and I wasn't really age appropriate for that. And so it was later on in life that I watched it and went, oh, never mind. This is really good. It's like, I don't know what I was thinking, but it's because I was a kid. I was fucking 13, 14 when that came out.
Dude, there was. I remember watching Singles like when I was a lot younger, when I was about like 14, 15, and thinking it was. I really enjoyed the grunge elements, but again, I had that reaction of I expected it to be a little more rock and roll, but now, like I watch clips of it now and again, and I just think I love the atmosphere of it. I love the it really is a picture of a place and time,
but not only that, the people like if you think about like especially now that you're in your later 20s, you think about people in their 20s, and not everybody is just, oh, we're still rock and roll and party. So you have these different elements of these different people whose lives are intertwined somehow, and they have these different. They're different types of people who are growing up in different ways. And you and I are just more like the Matt Dillon character. We're still wanting to rock and roll, and stuff like that. But but at the time I didn't think about that because I was a teenager, and then you get older and you do realize there are people that like, oh, your shit is like, you're getting a straight job and having a kid. And that's the priorities of your life. And it's just, so it makes the movie more meaningful because you do have the element of the guy in the grunge scene and the other people who are kind of around it, but they're not necessarily, it's not their life. But it's an interesting movie and funny too.
Yeah. Cool. Well,
anyway,
now that we've fully immersed ourselves in in grunge land.
My number one is Mother Love Bone's album Apple from 1990.
Hell yeah. I support this too, 100%.
As much as I will make the argument that Mother Love Bone would not have become a huge band, it doesn't matter because a lot of my favorite music did not become huge either. And I think that this album, like, I've always really liked the fact that I can hear elements of shit that grunge people would have hated in this music, because there are elements that I can easily go, all right, I hear where this is connected to grunge, and then I also hear where this is connected to 80s hard rock, but I also hear it connected to 70s rock as well. And this is one of those situations where Andy Wood had his own thing going on, but it worked well with the music that the other guys were creating. Although I do think that Andy wrote some stuff too. I've always just really enjoyed because this album came out in 1990, and I really think that this album is the best example of what 1990 was like, because it is like still has a foot in like this band could tour with Guns N' Roses. Maybe they did. I don't fucking know. But they also could have toured with Sonic Youth. And so I've always really enjoyed that about a lot of these bands. That's the same thing with like people say, well, Alice in Chains or Soundgarden, or they're metal bands or whatever. And I'm just like, well, that's why I like them, because somebody could hear them and go, they sound like metal, and then somebody else could say, it's not metal, and I'm just like, well, that makes cool music for me, where you're creating this stuff that, sure, it's all rock and roll, as Billy Joel once said, it's still rock and roll to me. That was what he said, right? But if you want to start picking it apart, you're going to find elements where you go, well, yeah, this could be connected to this or this or this or whatever. It's not squarely just this one thing, and which ends up making it its one thing. Mother Love Bone Apple is its one thing, and I've always really enjoyed it. And I just, it would have been cool to hear what they would have done on another album, maybe it actually would have sounded like 10 only with Andy Wood on vocals, but I don't think that would have worked as well. And it's so weird to say things like that. But I don't think it would have worked as well. And,
even flow. maybe something a little bit more along those lines.
Yeah,
that kind of had like a Real Thing era.
That was. Also, on that note, it is now 2026. Can we stop with the repetitive joke that you still can't understand what Eddie Vedder's saying in even flow? Because here's two things. Number one, if you listen to it, most of it's pretty clear what he's saying already. Number two, the lyrics have been available since 1991. So shut the fuck up. I'm so literally now people will still make the same videos where they're like shramalama-ding da-ba-ding da, and I'm just, oh my fucking god.
Yeah, the one that admittedly does make me laugh is the Yellow Ledbetter one, but all the others 100%.
That one that's borderline right there, because I still don't know half the shit he says in that song, and I bet you he doesn't either.
I will say when I've seen that one framed that way, it's funny, but like when you put it when you do even flow, everybody knows even flow. Anyone who likes rock, and is well versed in rock from different time periods, they know even flow.
Probably, or at least the beginning of it.
Freeze and rest his head on a pillow made of concrete.
And that's exactly the way that he enunciates that. You can clearly hear that he says rest his head on a pillow made of concrete. He's not thanks. It's like thanks Andy, what's his name? Not Andy Samberg. Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler. Yeah. Now that's the one thing. The Adam Sandler thing was funny at the time, but I think people took it and twisted it, and it just became a repetitive joke where it's like, I don't even know what he's saying in the song. Just shut up. Just shut the fuck up. Let's move on from stupid shit.
Yeah.
Get your own sense of humor and quit borrowing from other people.
I do like the and I called and I said and I hold and I said and I called
I'm pretty sure I told you this when we did the Pearl Jam episode.
Yeah.
There's a B-side on, I think it's the Alive single, where they cover I Got a Feeling by the Beatles. And have you ever heard this? Maybe I even played it, you heard it at the time. But there's a section of the song in the mid section of the song where the way that Eddie Vedder sings it is so fucking hilarious, because it's clear he doesn't know what the lyrics are at that point. And so it's like, hang
on, wait. So, which one?
I got a feeling. I got a feeling. By Pearl Jam. And it's somewhere in the middle of the song. It's after like the second chorus.
Okay, hold on.
I'll allow you the time, because it's if you haven't heard it before, it makes me laugh every time.
If you need to do a quick edit here, that's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna enjoy in the podcast world. Look it up for yourself if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay,
and if you do know.
So what's a rough timestamp you would say?
I don't know, dude.
It's a 3-minute 42-second song. Would you say that the halfway mark is roughly where it should start?
Sure.
Okay, hold on. Okay. I've got a feeling. Okay, still going. Oh, yeah. He thinks that everybody knows. Okay. He's still going.
It's almost there.
Okay, he did a big scream.
Okay.
I got a feeling. Okay. I think it's coming up. Everybody had a good year. No, we never saw the sunshine.
Oh, wait. You may have already passed it. God damn it. Sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Let me look it up. For myself.
Everybody made a movie.
I'm not even going to edit this shit. Pearl Jam, I've Got a Feeling. Okay. Is this it? I don't want to hear your ad for your fucking stupid game. You can go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care if you have a game. I don't want to play it.
I don't care if the game is mine.
Okay.
Okay.
Go to 115.
115. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Woo. Okay. Did he say something about Milli Vanilli?
I don't think he said anything about Milli Vanilli.
He says Milli Vanilli.
No,
Hold on, wait.
He does not.
He does. Listen to where is it? Hold on. Woo! All right. There it is. Yeah, he said, I don't know, something like a Milli Vanilli.
Maybe he does. Can somebody confirm that with Eddie
Oh my god!
Anyway, I think I told you this too, but one of my favorite things that I used to make mixtapes for my friends.
Yeah,
and that was a part that made me and my friend laugh so much. And so the next mixtape I made him, that part of the song played at least 6 or 7 times throughout the mixtape. A song would end and you would just hear, "Come on, I'm saying, tell me," and so much so that like at the end of the mix, if I remember right, at the end of the mix, it plays the clip and then the mix ends, but then there's like a gap of like a minute or two, and then it just randomly plays again.
Oh,
just
man.
Because like it made me laugh so much because I'm just because I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't really know what Paul McCartney sings at that part of the song anyway, but I just love, like, that's the era of Eddie Vedder that I love, where he recorded that just and they put it out.
Oh, dude.
Anyway. So Mother Love Bone's my number one. Now I'm gonna find that clip and put it on our thing. I gotta, just so I can randomly play it now. That's just gonna be the thing. But what do we replace it? You know, we might have to replace Paul Stanley, because Paul Stanley's falling out of my good graces. But or I get rid of
God damn it, baby, no, I ain't lying to you. I'm only gonna tell you one time.
I feel like we got to keep the Paul Stanley for the brewskis.
Yeah, it hurts me. I want to like upgrade my mixing board so I can have like a dozen.
Please put the Milli Vanilli.
Look for my GoFundMe where you guys help me buy a mixing board that will have multiple sound effects on it, including Eddie Vedder singing about Milli Vanilli. Apparently,
it says here on the lyrics, and I don't understand how come nobody told me. Why do I want to sing like Milli Vanilli? That's what it says.
Which clearly that's not the Beatles version, unless they somehow predicted Milli Vanilli.
All I know is that's the new soundbite that you have to fit in, because
I'll figure it out.
That has lore dating back to the days of tape, and I feel like
cassette tape, literally.
That has to live on. That has to live on somehow, vicariously through this.
That's, man. If I could have, if I had one wish, it would be world peace. But if I had another wish, it would be, I want somehow every mixtape I ever made for anybody back in the day, all of a sudden just to show up at my house. So, because some of them were so fucking good, they were like little pieces of art and pieces of my heart and my soul that I gave to my best friends and girls that I liked and shit like that. But I'm just like, Man, I would love to just have all of those back, just to get to hear how fucking. That's one of the best things. I made the best fucking mixtapes. I'm telling you. But anyway, so I don't think I have anything else to say about Apple by Mother Love Bone. It's a fucking great album. If you don't know the album, because I know some people probably still don't. It's really good. I don't know. It's a snapshot of 1990. And how unique Andy Wood was. I know Andrew Wood. I call him Andy Wood all the time. I don't know why. Yeah, about how unique of a personality and vocalist he was. So on that note, the songs I chose from Apple were Stardog Champion, Bone China, Stargazer, and Crown of Thorns. Those are the 4 that I would like to go on. So I feel like we can just, this episode's been long already. We could probably just throw together our favorites.
Okay.
In a mix.
Okay.
Let's start with Malfunction. Is there anything from Malfunction you really want to put on there?
Malfunction.
Return to Olympus.
I feel like the closest thing we had to a Mother Love Bone song was Jezebel Woman, but Shotgun Wedding is pretty cool. Tell you what, should we come back to Malfunction after we've discussed the rest of these albums? Because if you
want to, my answer is not going to change.
Okay, cool. Are you not fussed about having any Malfunction on here? I feel we need.
I'm not really fussed about doing a slashed and mashed of this.
Okay.
Just because, I don't know. I feel like we've covered everything we need to cover, but we could easily just suggest some songs to everybody out there.
Okay.
Unless you really want to do it, if you really want to throw it together. I don't want to be the buzzkill of this section of the show.
I feel like we've brought it up that many times in the show. I feel like we got to do it, but I don't mind. I don't mind doing it speedily. So right out of the gate, tell you what, the way I've laid it out is I actually have Green River here first.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure why I decided to put them there, but so we're in agreement that Rehab Doll and Swallow My Pride are staying.
I like those 2 a lot. Yes.
Nice. Cool. We'll drop all the others and we're just keeping Rehab Doll and Swallow My Pride.
Sweet.
We'll come back to Apple and Temple of the Dog in a moment because I feel like those, for me, I have a lot still to say.
Sure.
Malfunction, Return to Olympus.
Let's just put those 2, so we have 2 songs. I'll put Shotgun Wedding for me, and then Jezebel Woman for you. Cool. Yeah.
Right. Cool. So we got those 2. Now, I have a question.
Yes.
In terms of running order and length. Hold on. Bear with. Darn it. Hold on. Doot. There we go.
Doot.
Final track list. Okay, just so I got a little thing down here. Okay, right then. So we have chosen Jezebel Woman and Shotgun Wedding are going on the thing.
Okay.
Now, let's tackle Mad Season next, I reckon.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like River of Deceit should go for sure because it was the lead single from it, and it's just a really beautiful song.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with that.
I know they have similar vibes, but I like Lifeless Dead and I Don't Know Anything. But if I had to choose one of the 2, I would choose I Don't Know Anything.
I'm going to choose I Don't Know Anything as well. Cool.
Okay.
Sounds good to me. Now, Long Gone Day would be my representation for Mike Lanigan on this.
Yeah, so I agree with that too. That's my favorite that he does vocals on.
Cool.
Also, just because it's an oddity on the album, but strangely fits perfectly. I don't know. It's always been very strange to me.
Yeah. I also love Wake Up, but
I like Wake Up as well.
We can come back to Wake Up because tell you what, I'll put it through for now, and then we'll put it in some kind of order. Okay. And then if we have to turn it into a 2-discer, we'll turn it into a 2-discer. Right. So this is where it's going to get tricky.
Okay.
Apple and Temple of the Dog, I have a lot to say.
Okay.
So
obviously, let's start with Apple. Obviously, Crown of Thorns is going because we both really like that one.
100%.
I think Stardog Champion, same reasoning, where it was the single from the album, and I just really like the groove of that one.
Yeah. I also love This Is Shangri-La as an opener.
Oh, sure. Well, we can, yeah. Honestly, with this album, I'm fine with any song you want to choose. I like all of them.
Well, here's where it gets tricky. I omitted some songs from Apple, but it's a 13-track album, and there's 4 tracks that I'm like, what? Maybe they could go in, but we'll figure that out. So, tell you what, we've picked a couple from Apple. Should we pick a couple from Temple of the Dog?
Yes, obviously, Hunger Strike is going.
100%.
And I would say, obviously, Say Hello to Heaven is going on.
I'm also going to say Wayne's World Points, All Night Thing got to go on there.
All right, yeah. Since it's coming from us, All Night Thing should go. I like Pushing Forward Back, but we already have a little bit of an Eddie Vedder presence on with Hunger Strike, so I'm fine with not including that.
It's tricky. I also have one that I really want to make the compilation is one that's really, really clicked with me in recent years is Your Savior. I fucking love that one.
Yeah, add that one. That's
cool.
I'm fine with that. That's why I'm saying, like that's why I knew when we got to this point, I would just be like, yeah, put it on there. It wasn't going to be much of a discussion because I'm just like, yeah, these are great songs.
Man, Apple's been the hardest one for me because there's so many good ones.
Yeah.
So I'm going to recap what we have so far. Green River has Rehab Doll and Swallow My Pride.
Okay.
Malfunction has Jezebel Woman and Shotgun Wedding.
Okay.
Mad Season has Wake Up, River of Deceit, I Don't Know Anything, Long Gone Day.
Okay.
And the ones we've picked from Apple are Stardog Champion, Crown of Thorns. And the ones we've picked from Temple of the Dog are Say Hello to Heaven, Hunger Strike, Your Savior, All Night Thing.
Okay.
So we need to pick some more from Apple.
Okay.
And
Bone China.
Oh yeah, see, this is one of those where it enters the realms of shit. What do I do?
Yeah.
Because I've got as definite keepers. This is Shangri-La and Holy Roller, and I love Come Bite the Apple as well. Mm-hmm. But I also adore Bone China Stargazer.
Stargazer's great too.
Oh, and Man of Golden Words because he says Temple of the Dog.
Temple of the Dog, yeah.
And I also think because of the absence of Chloe Dancer, we have got that just a piano and Andy Wood vibe in that one.
All right. I mean, yeah.
But if you want a grunge vibe, I mean,
I don't care. I'm fucking. Damn, I was about to make a good reference, but I couldn't remember their name, so never mind.
Oh, okay.
I was going to talk about the actor from The Fugitive. The movie The Fugitive, where Harrison Ford goes, I didn't kill my wife. And he goes, I don't care.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Fugitive.
Who's that guy? Who's the actor? I should know his name. Harvey Keitel. No, it's not Harvey Keitel. What is his name?
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones. God damn.
There he is.
Sorry, my dogs. I knocked on my dog. That's my fault. My bad, guys. I just got my 90s actors mixed up. I know they acted in the 80s too, but still. Yeah, Tommy Lee. I'm Tommy Lee Jones in this situation because you're going to say a song and I'm going to be like, I don't care.
Tell you what, to be extra jammy, do you want to have 5 songs from Temple of the Dog and 5 from Apple?
Sure.
And then,
I mean, those were our number one, so yeah, that makes sense.
Cool. So we got Pushing Forward Back. What was your other one?
From what? From Temple of the Dog?
Yeah. So I've got Say Hello to Heaven, Hunger Strike, Pushing Forward Back, Your Savior, All Night Thing. You down with that?
Yep, that's great.
Cool. I did have Reach Down, but I feel like that'd be too long in this.
I mean, that's a great one too. But yeah, my only thing with that is the length. But I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Let's have a look here. Right then. So here are my song suggestions for Apple remaining. Okay. This is Shangri-La, Holy Roller, Bone China, Come Bite the Apple, Stargazer, Man of Golden Words, Gentle Groove.
Okay, so here's two. I have two things.
Okay.
Bone China and Gentle Groove to me are kind of similar.
Yep.
So we picked the best of those two. I'm fine with either one. Bone China is the winner for me on that, but I think
Bone
I
China
like both.
Bone China's the better of the two.
This is Shangri-La and Holy Roller to me are kind of have a similar vibe.
I think This Is Shangri-La is the more iconic of the two.
Yeah, so that's a way we can narrow it down. It was just be like, well, we've got one of the more upbeat, fun kind of tracks.
It's a riffer, though.
I mean, really, the best thing I can say for all of you is just go listen to these albums in full. Aside from Malfunkshun, just, if you're bored and want to, feel like you're at the dentist, then maybe.
You really didn't like Malfunkshun?
No, I was surprised at how much I didn't like it. I tried to lean into it with a thought of like, okay, these were demos or these weren't finished or whatever. But even then, I'm like, nah, they should have. So people who had like Mike McCready had money and a studio and could have like mixed Andy's vocals better or maybe like cut out some of the fucking guitar shit and just made it a more like enjoyable album. But I guess they left it as it is. And who am I? Who am I to say? I'm just some rando podcast dude. So anyway, so what do we have then? I think that ends up being about 18 tracks we got all total.
Yeah. So I've still got here are the remaining ones. We've got Bone China, Come Bite the Apple, Stargazer, and Man of Golden Words. Now I feel like in the absence of Chloe Dancer, we should probably have Man of Golden Words, because it features the line Temple of the Dog.
I agree. Throw that on. That's fine.
Okay, cool. Now I am behind having 6 Mother Love Bone songs.
Yeah, okay.
Because there's so many good ones on Apple.
Let's have 6 then.
Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and X off Stargazer, but I'm going to keep Come Bite the Apple and Bone China.
I mean, I wouldn't go with Stargazer over Come Bite the Apple, but that's just me.
Well, I would probably
Sorry, I know I said I didn't care, and then I immediately cared. Not very Tommy Lee Jones of me, is that?
That's where I was coming from, though. I feel like Bone China has more of a similar vibe to Stargazer.
You're not wrong. Okay.
And then Come Bite the Apple is a bit more up-tempo.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, cool. So, that does bring us up to... it does. It does have 6 songs. Okay, so in total...
It should be
we've
19.
Got... let's have a look here. So we've got Rehab Doll, Swallow My Pride, This Is Shangri-La, Stardog Champion, Bone China, Come Bite the Apple, Man of Golden Words, Crown of Thorns, Sail Out to Heaven, Hunger Strike, Push Him Forward Back, Your Shavior, All Night Thing.
Your Shaver.
Turned into Sean Connery there for a second. So we're on 13 tracks. Wake Up, River of Deceit, I Don't Know Anything, Long Gone Day, Jezebel Woman, Shotgun Wedding. So yeah, that is 19 songs.
Okay.
Okay, now we gotta sequence this fucker.
Well, I'm gonna say that we could like bookend it with the earlier shit to kind of bring it full circle. So literally like start it off with one of the Green River tracks, like we're going or Malfunction, but we're kind of going chronologically in the beginning.
Yeah, could do.
Maybe we don't start it off with Malfunction because that turn people off immediately. Let's maybe we start with Rehab Doll or Swallow My Pride. I
feel like Swallow My Pride would be a good opener.
Okay,
and finish it with Rehab Doll.
Oh, finish the whole shebang with Rehab Doll.
Actually, no. We're gonna finish it with Crown of Thorns. I feel like we got to.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. I feel like we got to close it with Crown of Thorns. So we're gonna open it with Swallow My Pride, and Crown of Thorns, and everything else happens in the middle of that.
Yep.
So
just throw it all in there.
Okay, cool.
If we're going chronological and that sort of thing, we should do a Mother Love Bone after that. I don't have all the songs written down, so.
Well, our choices are This Is Shangri-La, Stardog Champion, Bone China, Come Bite the Apple Man, and Golden Words. Now, I think Stardog Champion is a number 2 track anyway.
Yeah,
so
it's a good number 2.
Stardog Champion.
Does number 2 work for?
Okay, we got that one there. Cool. Okay, next up. Ooh. Should we have Hunger Strike at number 3 because it is number 3?
Yep, I like that.
Cool.
Thanks for doing the work for us, bands doing their sequencing of their albums.
Normally more thought goes into this, but
Tommy Lee Jones over here doesn't care.
Yeah. I feel like This Is Shangri-La has to open up side B.
Yeah, I like that.
So I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll preemptively put this...
Or more like disc 2, side 1.
Yeah.
It's 18 tracks.
Yeah. So tell you what, I'm going to preemptively put that there and there. Okay, so if we're splitting 19 down the middle...
It'd be 5, 5, 5, and 4.
5, 5, 5, 4. Okay.
If we're doing vinyl, it'd be 5 songs on 3 sides and 4 songs on 1 side.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so what haven't we had yet? We haven't had any Mad Season.
Okay. Mad Season. What song did we just do? Hunger Strike?
Yeah. So we've got a choice between... I feel like Wake Up is a late album cut in this case. I know it opens Mad Season, but...
Yeah, we should bring up the heaviness with I Don't Know Anything.
Cool. I'm behind that. I don't know anything. I don't know anything. Cool.
Which is another one of those riffs that ended up being a Silverchair song. And I don't even know if they meant it to do it or not. But but that shit happens.
We haven't had any Malfunction yet.
Oh,
so
damn.
Let's put... Should we have Shotgun Wedding because it picks the pace up a bit from I Don't Know Anything without going too quickly back to the whole softer side? Shotgun Wedding, and I'm going to go ahead and cross that one off now. Okay, next up. So we've had at least one from each now. Shall I put Rehab Doll before Crown of Thorns, like as a penultimate track? That way we've got both Green Rivers kind of bookending it a little bit.
That. Yeah.
Rehab Doll. Okay. Ba-ba-ba-bow. Taking another one off. Okay. So coming up on that, we've got... Swallow My Pride, Stardog Champion, Hunger Strike, I Don't Know Anything, Shotgun Wedding. What should we put in there next? We've had a couple of heavy ones. Should we throw another... Let's throw another Temple one in there. Say Hello to Heaven?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Cool.
I think that'd be good there.
Say hello to heaven. Okay. So, where are we at now?
This is the really interesting part of the episode, guys.
Yeah. We're putting it together. This is almost like one of those craft tutorials where it's like, you can make this at home.
Yeah.
Where is it? I think to close out the first disc, we should have All Night Thing.
Oh yeah. That's a good last middle track. Last end of part 1.
So let's have a look here. All Night thing. So this is the track list I have so far. So Swallow My Pride, Stardog Champion, Hunger Strike, I Don't Know Anything, Shotgun Wedding, Say Hello to Heaven. Now, we need at least a couple tracks to go between Say Hello to Heaven and All Night Thing.
Okay. What have we done from Apple so far?
We've got This is Shangri-La is going to open side B.
Okay, so we don't want to do Mother Love Bone.
Should do
no, because that's Simple the Dog. This is not easy.
No, it's not.
Because there's a lot of mellow stuff, so we probably just need to lean into that and do like River of Deceit or something there.
Yeah.
Or what else do we choose from Mad Season?
So we've got
let's do Long Gone Day there.
Oh, Long Gone Day. Yeah, Long Gone Day, because that adds a little bit of vocal variety there.
Yeah, and then and then after that, I don't know what to do here.
So we've got songs we still have are Bone China, Come Bite the Apple, Man of Golden Words. We've got Say Hello to Heaven. I've done that one. Let me tick that off. Pushing Forward Back, Your Savior, All Night Thing, Wake Up, River of Deceit, Jezebel Woman.
Yeah, we should do. Let's do. Motherfucker, it was just in my head. Come Bite the Apple.
Come Bite the Apple.
Because obviously we don't want to do a Temple of the Dog followed by a Temple of the Dog.
Yeah.
So that's the first half of the comp we got right there?
I believe so. Let's try and fit one more in the first half, because the second half is going to have Wake Up on it, and Wake Up's lengthy.
Okay, so
so I'm going to take you through what we have for the first half. Swallow My Pride, Stardog Champion, Hunger Strike, I Don't Know Anything, Shotgun Wedding, Sail Out to Heaven, Long Gone Day, Come Bite the Apple, All Night Thing.
How many is that? 10?
That's 9.
9. Yeah, we got to do one more, because I was thinking this whatever side we put Wake Up on, that'll be a 4-song side of the vinyl.
Yeah.
So where are we where's there kind of a slot?
Well, let's tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to separate that off a little bit. There we go. So we have here. So Swallow My Pride, Stardog Champion, Hunger Strike, I Don't Know Anything, Shotgun Wedding, Sail Out to Heaven, Long Gone Day, Come Bite the Apple, and then something to go between Come Bite the Apple and All Night Thing.
Oh, okay. What's before Come Bite the Apple?
Long Gone Day.
So we got ourselves in a corner. I think we need to move up Come Bite the Apple.
Okay. Should we put Come Bite the Apple on the next half?
No, put it right before All Night Thing.
Okay. Cool.
And then move Long Gone Day up 1.
Okay.
And then what's before Long Gone Day?
Say Hello to Heaven.
Okay. Now we can throw in another just throw in another Mother Love Bone there.
Okay.
Let's do what do we have left for Mother Love Bone?
Bone China or Man of Golden Words?
Oh shit. Do Man of Golden Words, because for some reason that feels more like a first half song to me than a Bone China feels like a later one, even though on the album I think that's the opposite. But still, it's how it feels to me.
So we've got our first half now. Swallow My Pride, Stardog Champion, Hunger Strike, I Don't Know Anything, Shotgun Wedding, Say Hello to Heaven, Man of Golden Words, Long Gone Day, Come Bite the Apple, All Night Thing.
Yeah, I like that.
And if we split those split those 10 tracks in half, we're doing it like a record.
Yep. Which is how I always look at it. Like if they gave us the opportunity to actually officially put these things together, I'd be like, well, we're doing it on vinyl, guys. Okay.
Cool. So so side A, Swallow My Pride, Stardog Champion, Hunger Strike, I Don't Know Anything, Shotgun Wedding.
Nice. Yeah.
Side 2, or side B, Say Hello to Heaven, Man of Golden Words, Long Gone Day, Come Bite the Apple, All Night Thing.
Yeah, that's nice.
Side C, This Is Shangri-La. Mm-hmm. And then we have a gap here at 12. So what's coming after This Is Shangri-La?
Well, do you think I think Wake Up should be the beginning of a side. So do you think Wake Up should be at the beginning of side D?
I think Wake Up should be the beginning of the last side. So
that ends up making that side already have 3 tracks on it when it should be that should be the side that has 4 tracks on it.
Okay. So if I draw a little line between This Is Shangri-La and that side. Okay, right then. So if that side is starting with Wake Up, and Rehab Doll is the penultimate track, and the closer is Crown of Thorns, we still need to fill side C with 3 more songs, and we need a song to go between Wake Up and Rehab Doll.
So at that right now, what do we have left from Temple of the Dog and Mother Love Bone right now?
Let me just really quickly have a look here. Where is it? We've not. Okay, so I think we've still got Bone China. We've used Man of Golden Words. I need to tick that off the list. So, right, we've still got Bone China, Pushing Forward Back, and Your Savior from Temple of the Dog. Wake Up we've used. I'm pretty sure. Have we used River of Deceit? We've not used River of Deceit. Should that come after This Is Shangri-La, or is that too
that's
quickly
fine.
Into... Okay.
That's good.
River of Deceit.
On side D, let's put Your Savior after Wake Up.
Oh, yeah, good
And
shout.
then that solidifies. Yep, it does that to side D. And then now we just have to finish up side C with the remaining tracks.
Okay, we've got Jezebel Woman, Pushing Forward Back, and Bone China. And they have to either come between or after This Is Shangri-La and River of Deceit. Now, do you want to have kind of a 1-2 punch with with This Is Shangri-La and Pushing Forward Back?
No, don't we have Bone China? What did you say?
We do have Bone China.
So how many songs do we have on the side so far? On side C,
we've got 2 songs on side C. We've got This Is Shangri-La and River of Deceit.
Okay, follow that up. River of Deceit. Follow that up with Pushing Forward Back.
Okay, Pushing Forward Back.
Follow that up with Bone China.
Bone China.
And then follow that up with what's the remaining one?
Jezebel Woman.
Jezebel Woman. That's the side
cool.
closer.
Jezebel Woman. Okay, so we have our track list. Are you ready?
Yes. Do it by sides. Make me happy.
Okay. Side A: Swallow My Pride, Stardog Champion, Hunger Strike, I Don't Know Anything, Shotgun Wedding.
Nice. I like that.
Right out of the gate, all 5 artists represented.
Very nice.
Side 2: Say Hello to Heaven, Man of Golden Words, Long Gone Day, Come Bite the Apple, All Night Thing.
Nice. That's a good side B.
Side C: This Is Shangri-La, River of Deceit, Pushing Forward Back,
Great.
Bone China,
Love it.
Jezebel Woman.
It'll do.
Time to change the disc.
That means you can literally just stop the disc right there if you wanted to. You're welcome.
Side D: Wake Up, Your Savior, Rehab Doll, Crown of Thorns.
Yeah, that's good. This is a good whatever it is, compilation.
Dude,
you can go make your own.
That side D kind of gave me chills because that's like 4 of my favorite songs from this.
Yeah.
Man.
The real question is, what are we going to call it?
Well, it has to be some sort of like amalgamation, right?
So
we got to have green.
Return to the temple of...
I feel like green apple works.
Return to the temple of the green apple doll.
Return to the temple of the green apple doll.
I don't know.
I like that. Return to the temple of the green apple doll.
Yeah.
Return to the temple.
Return the green apple doll to rehab.
Return the green apple doll to rehab.
There's not really any temple of the dog in that. So I don't like that one as much.
Rehab temple. Hold on. Return the green apple doll to the rehab temple.
That works. That's when the record label's like, come on, guys, can we just call it like the best of the grungies or some shit?
Okay, hold on. I just realized we were mixing up band names and titles. So,
well, the title of the album is Temple of the Dog.
Yeah, I think that's what threw us off there.
Return to the Temple of the Green Apple. Oh, we didn't do above. Return
above the...
Where's the green? Oh, you're right. Return to the temple. Return to the temple. God damn it.
Return to the temple.
Return to the temple above the green apple doll. Nope, above the apple doll.
Above the green apple rehab.
Nope, not the green, because green's a band name.
Oh yeah, shit.
Return to the temple above the
apple rehab.
Apple.
That's where you go when you drink too much cider.
Return to the temple rehab above the apple.
Return to the temple above the apple rehab.
Or that.
Okay.
This is the best part of the whole episode, right, guys?
Return to the temple above the apple rehab.
Okay.
I don't know.
Return the doll to the temple above the apple. Return the doll to the temple above the apple.
Return the doll to the temple above the apple. That works. That's as good as it's gonna get. Return doll temple above apple. That's all 5.
Yeah, we did it.
Cool.
Ranked and slashed and mashed, guys. That was yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
So there you go. I mean, that was a good conversation about these bands. And it is really interesting though, just because all of these things, as much as I like Mother Love Bone, it's like all of this music we're talking about is important to that scene, but there's other bands I'd prefer to talk about. Because like talking about this, we're not really talking about Alice in Chains. We're not really talking about Soundgarden. We're not talking about Nirvana at all. Not talking about Tad. Not talking about there's like all these other bands from the 90s Seattle thing. I'm like, those are my favorites.
Yeah. I have an idea for a slashed and mashed where we do the 3 Nirvana albums, but we're not allowed to use any singles.
Oh.
What do you think?
Yes, I like that idea.
I've been thinking of doing like slashed and mashed episodes where we don't use singles. We're not allowed to touch the hits.
That's because those are already on compilations anyway.
Yeah, we have to make a greatest non-hits, essentially. So I'm really keen to do that at some point.
I would love that, especially.
I'd love to revisit Nirvana because we did those guys first.
Yeah, well, we did kind of revisit it. We listened to it, and then we basically decided our ranking would probably be the same.
Yeah.
So maybe our way of maybe our way of revisiting it is slashing and mashing and making a compilation.
Yeah, I think so too. Tell you what, that's going on the list.
yeah, that's definitely one I'd like to do. Oh, by the way, can you somewhere soon in there? I had that idea that I wanted to do.
Yeah,
where I wanted to have an entire CNR sidebar where we talk about coworker music.
Yes,
because I feel like it could be a really long discussion because we could cover like what do we consider the definition of that. Both of us have, obviously have had jobs. What's coworker music to us? If we lived in different, if we were all of a sudden living in, 1988, what would the coworker music of 1988 have been? Like there's a huge world of discussion around what that exactly is, who would fit in that.
Yeah.
And how it can differ for different people. Because I feel like everybody who's like really into music has run into I'm so happy that term was created because it finally gives me something to point out and go, coworker music. That's what it is. Because it's just it's an anomaly of so much of my life because nobody is as nerdy about music as me. Yeah. And so like, especially people that I work with anytime in my life. So it's like I can't have like one of my normal conversations that we would have with anyone I've ever worked with because it immediately just hits a wall because there's a different experience of music happening. So somewhere in there, I just want to have a huge discussion about that because I think that it would be fascinating to talk about.
Absolutely.
Cool. But next, what are we doing next?
So we've got a sidebar next time where we're going to try and come up with who are really the big four of glam metal.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Because no one can really come to a consensus from what I've seen.
I feel like we can agree on two.
Yeah.
But then I think there's a point where we start to have to really look at a lot of different factors.
Like, do you count Guns N' Roses? Do you count Bon Jovi? Do you count Def Leppard? Like, would you even call those bands solely hair metal bands at this point?
Should we even be calling it hair metal? Should we group everyone in with 80s hard rock and pick a big four of 80s hard rock? Or should we do two big fours?
That's a good point. I think there is a distinction.
Join us next time for this discussion because that's what it's going to be. A whole lot of us talking about 80s hard rock / hair metal bands and who the big four would be. Because there's also the idea of like the stipulations, like the factors that made the thrash big four who they chose. And if we apply those factors to some of these bands. Anyway.
That's a good point. Because I was thinking them for a second. It was like, oh, well, you'd the California bands would have a big four and the outside. But no, Anthrax are from New York. So that defeats that thing. So there's so many factors, man.
That'll be an interesting conversation. So those of you who love that era of music and don't really care for the grunge stuff, I love it how we're covering some grunge and then we're going to cover the music that it quote unquote killed off for the next episode, which is great.
And then after that we're doing a progger.
We're doing Genesis after that, folks.
Yes.
And here's the thing, we're doing Gabriel and Collins, all the Genesis. And we're not separating it because I think that does it a disservice because I very clearly want to upset people when I put Phil Collins albums above Peter Gabriel albums. So I just need the satisfaction of doing that.
I'm behind.
Not that I don't like the Peter Gabriel ones; they've grown on me. But that'll be interesting. Have you gotten into that at all?
I begun today. I've been listening to our grunge one-offs for the last week or so, but
yeah, all right. So yeah, then next time it gives us a nice little buffer. We'll have a nice little conversation about some 80s hard rock, and then we have a big two-parter because there's a lot of Genesis albums, and I think they're a big enough and an influential enough band that they deserve a two-parter. We don't do that for a lot of bands, but I think the last one was Queen that we did a two-parter on.
Yeah, we've really streamlined our approach to this. There was a time where some bands would get three-parters.
Yeah. I just think that now, especially, I think it was because before you used to do a lot of track-by-track stuff.
Yeah.
And I think now that we don't do that, it's really just
let it flow.
Reserved for just a few bands with large discographies. All right, Jess is trying to get into my room again. So she's like, "Dad, you need to wrap it up." Anyway. All right. That's not, for those of you who don't know, that's not a kid, that's a dog. It's a pit bull, a white pit bull. And she's very smart. So if the door opens inward, she knows how to just and then come right into whatever room. She doesn't like the door being closed, so she will just open it. Anyway. All right. Well, we'll wrap this one up. This has been fun. I always love talking about this era of music because it's really fucking important to me. And I'm looking forward to whenever we do that Nirvana thing, because any excuse to talk about Nirvana for me is a good excuse. But next time we dive back into the 80s. Well, I guess we were a little bit in the 80s this time. Anyway, all right, I'm going to stop rambling and we're going to get the fuck out of here. All right, as usual, I'm going to throw it over to Mr. Eddie Sparxx to take us out.
I'm gonna do a Mark Arm. Later too.